Good morning.
Obviously, we're not in Rovaniemi. Yesterday, we took a 9-hour train over to Turku, Finland, and we're only going to be here for, I think, 6 hours. The clock is ticking, so we have 6 hours to do as much as we can in Turku.
Let's see what we can find. First things first, let's start with one of the basics, the beautiful church. So for some quick context, Turku is actually the oldest city in all of Finland. So as you walk around, you'll see a lot more historical architecture compared to where we were in Rovaniemi, where everything was rebuilt after World War II. So this church is actually the only medieval basilica in all of Finland, and it was built in 1276 until around the year 1300 when it was finished. That's an old church. But enough blabbing, let's go check it out.
Yeah, we don't have time.
We don't have time for this.
We have no time for this.
Scratch the history, let's get to it. There may be a pilgrimage, like you can walk here kind of like in Camino de Santiago, a pilgrimage to a church, because there's a pilgrimage center. Maybe that's what all those backpackers were doing on our train. But shouldn't you be walking at all? I don't know, scratch what I said. So good news, there wasn't an entrance fee. So we were just free to enter. We read online that it got severely damaged in the fire of 1827, but was rebuilt afterwards. And its original denomination was Catholic, but then its current one is Lutheran. That's all I know about the church. Thank you very much. Let's continue exploring.
Well, that didn't take any time.
Still plenty of time to do our huge list of things.
Do we have a plan?
We've devised a plan. We're gonna make the most of our day in Turku. All right, what's the first thing on our to-do list?
Stroll through the old town.
Isn't the whole town old?
Then why does every city have an old town?
We gotta get going.
No,
There's really no time for jokes. We have a Turku to see.
Well, I know we just said we had a plan, but okay, now we're in the middle of this street.
This guy's all over the place.
Pretty sure we are in the old center of the city, because not only do we have these beautiful cobblestone roads, all the buildings around this park area are just stunning. And I love these little alleyways. It kind of reminds me of Spain.
So cute.
This is really cool. A little bit more historical than the other places and that we've been to in Finland. Rovaniemi was very new, but Helsinki didn't feel as old as this.
We're looking for a market. I don't know if it's a lost cause.
Vanja Suurtori. How's my Finnish?
I think it's great. We're running out of time. We cannot be lost in a new city.
Well, I got no idea. Well, on to the next thing. We don't have time.
What is our next thing?
Oh yeah, the river.
The river. Finland's hot.
Yeah, we packed all of our cold stuff, everything that we needed for like cold weather. And then I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt.
And I'm sweating.
Yeah, this is brutal. Like, we're from Texas. I'm like, we should be able to handle this.
We just haven't been in Texas for a while.
Long time. So now we made it over to the library. And one of the reasons why we're here is because it's a really good example of like old and new architecture. They have like I believe it used to be the old town hall, and then they built and expanded the library. So now you have like a modern side and an old historical side. Yeah, we could have worked and done so many things in that library. Kind of upset we didn't bring
puzzle. Sorry, we could have done a puzzle.
Jenna really wanted a puzzle.
I love puzzles.
And now we're going to the very next stop, which is probably the most popular thing to do here in Turku, and that is the beautiful Turku Castle. But we got a long walk.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a little freaky.
I'm scared.
And the brother, or sister maybe.
Looks kind of like you.
What?
So on this Turku trip, we're actually doing something different. We did our very first couch surfing experience. So if you don't know what couch surfing is, it's a platform where you can apply to stay with locals, and that's what we did. We crashed on a couch of a local here named Lisa, so thank you Lisa so much if you're watching this. We asked Lisa, what is the one thing we need to do? The one thing you need to do is walk along the river. And so on the way to our next destination, that's exactly what we're doing. We're walking along and we're seeing all of the beautiful boats. There's a lot going on. Everyone seems to be walking and biking, and overall it's just a very nice experience.
Sit here for a second. Getting absolutely torched by this sun. It's currently 12:08, so we have around 3.5 hours.
You can take a bus here, so you don't have to walk. But we just wanted to walk there so we can kind of get the views and the experience of walking along the river. But we're gonna bus back for sure.
We've officially made it to the Turku Castle. I don't know why they had to build this thing so damn far from the city. I'm just kidding. Obviously, they didn't take into consideration maybe the next 800 years.
So this is the Turku Castle. This is gonna be one of the most popular things you can do on your time in Turku, and that's because this is a 700-year-old castle, and it is the largest medieval building in all of Finland that's still in use. I did read that in 1941, it got bombed and it was left in ruins, which is really sad, but they did a restoration period and it's back in process. So I'm really curious, you know, what's gonna be old and what's gonna be new. But I guess that's what the tour's for, so let's go look. Yeah, this is really cool, but it definitely gives off the public execution vibe.
Like this, maybe?
All right, I just got a map, and this literally might take us the rest of the time. Wow, there's 29 rooms we gotta get to. 1222, we can do this.
Here we go.
I guess we get started here, right? Let's go. What did I say earlier? Look at this. This is called Jordan's Chamber because it served as a prison cell. And he later got beheaded. So I could just sense it. About to hop in there.
Yeah, that should pay for the tour if we just took a few buckaroos.
That should pay for our drone if we just clean it all up, no? So we're on room number 11, so we're about a third of the way through. This is so pretty. It's still in use and it's popular for weddings. Married in Finland in a medieval castle church.
This place is very confusing. Like, imagine living in a medieval castle and you have to walk up all these winding stairs and like random paths. It just felt like they didn't have an architect. There was just no layout.
Or it's just too complex for your little modern mind.
It's kind of mean. 12:44. Kind of pushing it on time.
And we technically don't have to get back to the place until 4.
If Jenna wants to go to her favorite place.
Gotta get going. So the city of Turku still uses this hall for banquets, and you can rent it out and use this for an event. Isn't that crazy?
Must have been some really short people back in the day, cause ain't no way. I mean, I'm tall, but not that tall. No wonder there was a hunchback of Notre Dame.
Watch your head.
Again.
Medieval giant.
What is up with these short people? Ginormous.
Not good if you're on a time crunch like we are. But this place is spectacular. I wish we had all day to be in here because there's so much information and it's really well done. Probably the best castle we've walked through in terms of information. Wow. That was spectacular. So far my biggest regret about this whole trip is just not spending enough time in Turku to do this castle like all day. That was incredible, and I'm pretty sure we missed a few rooms at the end, but it's now 1:21 and we are getting a little bit crunched on time. We don't want to accidentally miss a bus. Let's go to our next stop and grab some food and maybe something to drink.
I do have a lunch special. It's in Finnish.
Yum!
Let's go. Wasn't expecting this entrance.
But the lunch buffet was $12.50 a person, and it was only open for about 10 more minutes. This looks fantastic, and it's such a good deal for an entire lunch buffet.
We'll tell you where we are after we eat.
He's embarrassed to speak.
What'd you say?
Not that we were doubting the last 10 minutes of a buffet, but this is really good. Like this beef is so tender. The buffet even came with your own little fruit salad dessert and coffee and tea. We are a little late for the coffee and tea. They just took it up.
So we are in Kulu Brewery here in Turku, and this place is very, very unique. Not only because apparently it's like one of Finland's largest breweries, but they are located in a very historic place. It's located in an old Swedish girls' school, and it is ginormous. Like just walking into the hall, it's so grand, it's so big. Time to add some beer. This is nice and relaxing, but I'm going to be dead tired after this. I can already feel it.
So what beer did you get?
I got a Pilsner, and it's very tasty. It's really smooth. It's a little bit like thicker on the tongue for some reason, and it also has like kind of a different flavor. This feels a little bit darker, but still really yummy.
So I'm actually trying one of their ciders, and I got it with a cranberry flavor, or one of the cranberry ciders, sorry. And he asked if I wanted ice in it, and I was like, ice? But then I said yes, and it was a good move. This is great with ice. He recommended this one to me because he said it's not too sweet and it has a little bit of a sour taste, which I'm a big sour person. And look how cool the cup is. So I kind of just thought this was gonna be a brewery in an old building, but it feels like so much more than that because, you know, they have the lunch buffet, they have a restaurant, they have this beautiful outdoor beer garden area. Looks like you can play games inside and you can have events. So I think this is a really unique space. And there's so many other cool breweries that we found too. We chose this one, but there's also one that's in an old pharmacy and like other old historic buildings. So, you know, props to Turku for reusing these buildings for such fun purposes.
Empty beer.
Full stomach. Okay, and now we're on to our last stop of the day and here in Turku. Okay, so since coming to Finland, I've kind of developed a new obsession. And when we were looking for the brewery, I found this little shop right next to the brewery. I knew we had to go before we leave Finland for good. So let's go.
Is it busy?
It's so busy. It's a movement store! Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I actually love it. Everything is so cute. I love it all. Goodbye, Moomin.
Obsession.
Well, it's 4 p.m., which means our time in Turku is up.
We really, really enjoyed Turku. I think I'm gonna say that this is my favorite city that we've been to in Finland. I kind of enjoyed like the fact that we didn't have a lot of time.
We really tried to make the most of this day, and I think we did a good job of it. But if you're Finnish and you think we missed out on something huge, let us know so other people don't make that same mistake. Well, this is pretty much the end of our exploring.
Okay, well thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.
Moi moi!
Moi moi!